Hi, I'm Mike Bianchi, founder of the American Economic Development GoFundMe page. I'd like to tell you briefly about three lies my parents told me when I was a kid. Before I do, I think it's important to first point out that they didn't know they were lying. The first lie was that America was a free country. The second lie was that I could be anything I wanted to be as long as I worked hard. The last lie was that America will always be the greatest place on earth and that I should be thankful for it. In 2008, though, that narrative changed greatly. I had just graduated high school, and it was impossible for me to get a job. In fact, I wasn't the only one. Many of the people in their then 40s had also lost their jobs. Although I did not realize it at the time, this was the result of a fundamental flaw in our banking system called debt backed money supply. Yes, the Great Recession of 2008 was a product of bad banking and poor monetary policy. The root of this problem lies in the fact that every time you deposit a dollar in the bank creates 10 more dollars in the form of loans, which means 90% of all our money in circulation is backed only by debt and the working class labor which pays for it. When workers lose their jobs, debts don't get paid back, cars get repossessed, houses foreclosed, businesses shut down, and banks have a choice at that point to either let the problem die out on its own or lower their interest rates to a point where it's almost free to get a loan. Because cheap lending, which makes even more debt, is for some reason a reasonable solution in their insane minds. When they lower interest rates, more money gets printed out of thin air and prices go up because of inflation. Mind you, this all happens at a time when people are unemployed or underemployed. When they don't lower rates and don't print more money, the same people who worked so hard at their jobs now lose all the things they worked so hard for. Their assets and savings become defaulted on, and the bank or the creditor takes it over. This, my friends, is a major problem. Because if you haven't been able to tell already, this is actually called manufactured slavery. And what's worse is that we all have to contribute to it or be a part of it just to have shelter and food, let alone a future for our children. These same banks own our media, our newspaper, our mega corporations like Google and YouTube and Facebook, our television stations, and most of our radio programs. It is on these mediums that they choose to entertain us or cause division through tyrannical two party politics or basically just keep us so blind or so busy, certainly enough not to worry about anything else except day to day living. And that way you'll never know you're a slave because you've been told this is the greatest country on earth. It is the catalyst that makes you so concerned about today that you never think about tomorrow. It is the fuel behind racism, poverty, and injustice. This system cannot continue forever. There is coming a time when your local banks will shut down, your credit cards will decline, and your local businesses will start putting up cash only signs again. Some of you have already heard plenty of doomsday people say similar things, and yet I'm extremely hard pressed to find any of them suggest a viable and actionable solution, which I believe revolves around creating localized commodity backed currencies and banks which actually keep those assets in their vaults rather than telling you it's in your account with digits in an email. The American Economic Development GoFundMe page has proposed a local solution for Macomb County, Michigan, and the solutions are simple. First, establish a bank like building with vaults which are designed to house gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Second, issue demand notes, our own localized currency just for Macomb County, which are similar in look and feel of our current currency, the dollar bill. These can be exchanged at this local bank-like building for a fixed amount of silver, gold, or Bitcoin, whatever the depositor chooses. And third, the holders of these notes and myself will campaign to convince local businesses to accept them alongside the dollar. This will, of course, be very easy to do because it encourages local spending, and the notes can be converted into gold and silver, which can at any time be converted back to dollars if needed. Essentially, it is reestablishing the gold standard, except just for our county. What this will mean is that there will no longer be any inflation, The money you save today will always be worth the same. There is no need to risk your savings in the stock market because these commodities will increase in value or at least maintain their value. Costs of living will stay exactly as they are today for at least another generation. Jobs will pay more. It will encourage local production without need to import goods from other countries like China. And Macomb County will be a beacon of light that the rest of America looks on as an example of how to operate with fiscal responsibility. What I need from you today is to make a commitment to this cause and make a donation. You can donate dollars, gold, Bitcoin, or silver, and when you do, you can sleep easy about tomorrow. This campaign is run entirely by direct marketing, so there are no advertising costs. I made the website myself, so there's no need to pay for that either. In fact, 95% of your donations go directly to this cause. If you're tired of government pushing us around, then say so with action. Thank you. I'm Michael Bianchi. God bless you, and God bless America.